Alright, let me begin today's live stream for the students who wish to crack several examinations on English literature. For example, HPSC screening test in Haryana, India, and UGC-Net or HTET, and many other students will also be benefited from this live stream. And this is my second live stream on Tintern Abbey, and this is my second live on Tintern Abbey. As you know, yesterday also I took up this live session on Tintern Abbey, so this is my second live session on Tintern Abbey. Let's begin. शुरू कर लेते हैं. What does Wordsworth mean by nature's holy plan? First question is, what does William Wordsworth mean by holy plan? And options are given to you. Yes, options are a religious doctrine, the spiritual and moral guidance provided by nature, or political ideology, or an economic strategy. Think it over and decide which is the right choice out of these. Okay, let me find out the ink and pen from here. Okay, let's begin like that. Okay, just think about which is the correct choice. Yes. It is a religious doctrine or spiritual moral guidance provider, or a political ideology. You may think about this, and you may think about economic strategy. Which is your right choice? You please tell. What does Wordsworth mean by nature's holy plan? What is nature's holy plan according to Wordsworth? It's a religious doctrine or the spiritual and moral guidance provided by nature, or political ideology. Let's delete the option which seem to be outrightly incorrect. Those are negative ones. Let's remove one by one. A political ideology, it was not a political ideology. Economic strategy, it was not. So you may make a choice between two, A and B. It was not a religious doctrine as well. So the right answer is the spiritual and moral guidance provided by nature. So this is your 31st question, and 30 question I had discussed yesterday. And please follow my page at english.com. C is capital, english.com, and share this live stream with your friends so that it may reach the maximum people. Those may be benefited in English literature in any way, in one way or the other, they will be benefited. So this is Tintern Abbey. We are discussing Tintern Abbey and multiple choice questions on Tintern Abbey. So first question we have done. What does Wordsworth mean by nature's holy plan? What is nature's holy plan? We have given 4 choices for you. Religious doctrine, it was incorrect, and this was correct. The spiritual and moral guidance provided by nature. Second question. How does Wordsworth perceive the relationship between humans and nature? Okay, as adversarial, or as mutually beneficial, or as insignificant, or as competitive? What is the right choice here? Question number 32nd. How does Wordsworth perceive the relationship between humans and nature? As you know, the countryside people, the people who live in villages, they have strong connection with nature. So how do you find this relationship between humans and nature? What does a human being get from nature? This relationship is adversarial, you have to decide, as mutually beneficial, or it is insignificant, or it is competitive. Okay, let's discard the negative ones. Adversarial, it is not adversarial, right? It is insignificant. No, it's not insignificant in any way. It's very important relationship, as you know. Is it competitive? No, there is no competition between human beings and nature. So the option is left as mutually beneficial. It is mutually beneficial relationship, right? Next question is, how does Wordsworth describe the effect of natural beauty on his mind and soul? You must know that Wordsworth was a worshipper of nature, and he used to wander about on the hills here and there, and he was strongly in connection with nature. So you are to find out in this question, how does Wordsworth describe the effect of natural beauty? It means it had a very positive effect of nature on Wordsworth's mind and soul. This conclusion can be drawn from here. If you know anything about Wordsworth, he was a worshipper of nature. It causes confusion and turmoil, it cannot, right? Because William Wordsworth was a true worshipper, lover of nature. It brings peace and tranquility. Okay, it may. It incites fear and dread. No, this is negative, totally negative option. We may discard them. It makes him restless and uneasy. This is also negative. And first one was also negative. So only the option that is positive is it brings peace and tranquility. Tranquility means serenity. What does Wordsworth suggest is the greatest benefit of his communion with nature? Greatest benefit of his communion with nature, right? Financial gain. Does he get any financial gain by having communion with nature? Does he get social status? Does he get physical strength? So three options are discarded at once. You can remove them. He doesn't get any financial gain. He doesn't get any social status. He doesn't get any physical strength. So you can discard them outrightly. So only C option is left for your answer. Inner peace and understanding is the correct choice. How does Wordsworth address his sister in the poem? With criticism. Does he criticize his sister in this poem? You have to ponder about this point. He talks about her with affection and hope, with indifference, with envy. 3 points are totally negative ones. So you can cross this. This is also wrong, and this is also wrong. And the option that is correct, with affection and hope. How does Wordsworth address his sister in the poem? He addresses his sister Dorothy with affection and hope. What does Wordsworth imply about the power of memory in the poem? Yes, power of memory. You have to think about the power of memory. It is unreliable. Do you find the power of memory unreliable? Do you find this power of memory painful? Do you think that power of memory is insignificant? So these 3 options can be removed at once. Only C option is left. It is source of solace and strength. Clear? How does Wordsworth describe the passage of time in this poem, Tintern Abbey? How does he describe passage of time? As a thief? Time is a thief. It's a healer, or as a destroyer, or a friend. How does Wordsworth describe the passage of time in the poem? It's not a thief, so cross it. It's not a destroyer. 2 points have been deleted. This one and this one. We have been left with B and C, D. as a healer, as a friend. So healer is the right choice now. Time may be a friend, but it's a great healer. This is more appropriate answer for you. What role does solitude play in Wordsworth's experience of nature? Solitude, loneliness, right? It makes him feel lonely and sad. When William Wordsworth wanders about the places here and there in the lap of nature, and he is alone there, he is in total solitude. Do you think that solitude brings sadness to him? So this is also wrong. It enhances his appreciation and understanding. It has no significant impact. This is totally negative. It's negative. This is also negative. It makes him feel anxious and restless. This is negative. Only positive point is it enhances his appreciation and understanding. Right? Which literary device is prominently used in Tintern Abbey? Irony, hyperbole, personification. There are three options here. So there is no irony, there is no hyperbole. This is personification is the correct choice for the answer. Right? 40th question. What feeling does Wordsworth say the memory of nature provides him when he is away from it? When William Wordsworth is away from nature, right? And what feeling does Wordsworth say the memory of nature provides? Then the memory of nature comes to his rescue. When Wordsworth is away from nature, he is sitting on his couch, he is sitting on his sofa, and he is in pensive mood. What does his memory do? Memory of nature do for him? You have to find out. It creates fear, anxiety, comfort and cheer, or indifference. So find out the negative points. Fear, no. Anxiety, no. Indifference, no. Only the right choice is comfort and cheer. This is the right choice. What does Wordsworth mean by a sense of sublime, of something far more deeply introduced? What does Wordsworth mean? You are to find out the true meaning of this line. The presence of divine spirit in nature, the complexity of human society, or the intricacies of scientific discovery, or the nuances of personal relationships. So let's discard the negative ones first. Scientific discovery he doesn't talk about. He doesn't talk about human society, complexities of human society. The option is A, the presence of divine spirit in nature. Okay, a sense of sublime, of something far more deeply introduced. This is also wrong. That is the presence of a divine spirit in nature. Right? Next question, 42nd question. Let's begin with. Which phrase best describes the transformation Wordsworth experiences through nature? You must know that Wordsworth undergoes very deep transformation in his personality through nature at the later stage. In the beginning, the change might not be so much perceptive, and later on it was very prominent. Let's find out the options. From indifference to passion, from innocence to experience, from joy to sorrow, from despair to hope. Does he go from indifference to passion? In the beginning he might be indifferent towards nature, then he becomes passionate about nature. No. From innocence to experience. In the beginning he was innocent, then he gains by experience. From joy to sorrow, no. From sorrow to joy he might be, but this is wrong. From despair to hope. From despair to hope, yes, it may be, but the appropriate option is from innocence to experience. B is the correct option. What is the still sad music of humanity contrasted within the poem. On one side, there is the setting of Tintern Abbey, sorry, and there is serene atmosphere here, and at a very distance from this place, there is humdrum of life. Humdrum of life. How does he contrast between this setting and this setting? You have to answer. Okay, let me make it clear now. Options are the chaos of the city. What is the still sad music of humanity contrasted within the poem? The chaos of the city, the vibrant life of the forest, the enduring peace of nature, the noise of industrial progress. Chaos of the city, no. Vibrant life of the forest, no. Noise, no. Enduring peace of nature. How does Wordsworth feel about the impact of nature on his morality? Right? Impact of nature on his moral being. It has corrupted his morals. It has left his morals unchanged. It has refined and purified his morals. It has confused his morals. First of all, delete cross the negative points. This is negative. It didn't corrupt his morals. Or it has left his moral unchanged. This is also no. It has confused. This is also negative. And this is the positive one. It has refined and purified his morals. What does Wordsworth refer to as the guide, the guardian of my heart and soul of my all moral being? What is that thing? That is the guide, the guardian of his heart, the soul of his moral being. Is it religion? Is it friendship? Is it nature? Is it family? So we are talking about nature. Nature is the right answer. This is wrong. In what state does Wordsworth describe nature's presence in the poem? In what state? State means situation. As a powerful storm, as a serene and calming influence, as a chaotic force, as a distant memory. So remove the negative one. Storm, it was not. Chaotic, it was not. Distant memory, it was not. It was as a serene and calming influence. This is the right answer. What does Wordsworth hope his sister Dorothy will experience in nature? Yes. Do you understand the question? What does Wordsworth hope his sister Dorothy should experience or will experience in nature? Fame and recognition. Will she experience fame in nature, or joy and tranquility, the wealth and prosperity, adventure and excitement? So discard the negative ones. Wealth and prosperity, she will not gain adventure and excitement, and she will not gain famous and recognition. She doesn't bother about that. Only joy and tranquility, according to William Wordsworth, his sister will gain by remaining in communion with nature. 48th question. These are 60 questions. 12 questions are left. How does Wordsworth perceive the changes in the landscape upon his return? When William Wordsworth comes back to Tintern Abbey after the gap of how many years? After the gap of 5 years, does he find the atmosphere there? Does he find the every landscape changed one? Does he find any changes? You have to tell. Completely transformed, does he find? Slightly altered, or exactly the same, or barely recognizable? So these three are wrong. It was exactly the same. There was no change in nature. Nature is permanent. What does Wordsworth believe about the future recollection of this visit? You should know that William Wordsworth's experience, he will gain so many experiences from nature when he visited this place, Tintern Abbey. After going back to his city from this place. What do you think that? What does Wordsworth believe about the future recollection of this visit? How would he recollect his experiences which he had at Tintern Abbey? Okay, it will be forgotten. Do you think that William Wordsworth forget all the experiences he gained by revisiting Tintern Abbey? Do you think it will bring sorrow to him later on? Do you think it will be source of comfort for him? Do you think it will be insignificant, negative? These are two negative points. Yes, it will also, this is also negative point. Right choice is, it will be a source of comfort. Right? What does Wordsworth suggest about the nature of his earlier visits to Tintern Abbey? Yes, they were less meaningful. What does Wordsworth suggest about the nature of his earlier visits? Whenever he visited Tintern Abbey, 5 years ago he visited Tintern Abbey, what does William Wordsworth say about his earlier experience? Those visits were less meaningful. They were more passionate but less reflective. They were indifferent and careless. They were more analytical and thoughtful. Yes, you are to find out. They were less meaningful. It may be wrong. They were indifferent. This may be wrong. They were more analytical. In the beginning, his experiences were not so analytical. Only one choice is left with you. They were more passionate but less reflective. As a boy, when he visited nature, he was very passionate of knowing nature. He was not reflecting at that time. He didn't reflect. He didn't use thoughts in those visits. 51st question is, in the poem, what does Wordsworth attribute to the calming influence of nature? His financial success, his creative inspiration, his mental and emotional balance, his physical strength. So, what does Wordsworth attribute to the calming influence of nature? Financial success, no. It may be creative inspiration. It may be mental and emotional balance. Okay. Physical strength, no. You have to guess. You have to choose between these two options. Creative inspiration was there. Okay. But this is more important. Mental and emotional balance he gained from influence of nature. How does Wordsworth describe his feelings when he first came to Tintern Abbey as a young man? Curious but indifferent, wild and passionate, this is wrong. Analytical and detached, in the beginning he was not analytical and detached. As fearful, he was not fearful and apprehensive in the beginning. So as a curious but indifferent. So this may be the answer A1. Yes. So as wild and passionate. Okay. Answer second is given. Sorry. As curious, he was in the beginning. He was not curious but indifferent. This is wrong. As wild and passionate, he was right. He was passionate. Yes. He was wild and passionate. He wanted to know about nature, and he was passionate about that. Curious but indifferent. This point is wrong. He might be curious, but he was not indifferent to nature. How does Wordsworth view his past youthful interaction with nature? With regret, with embarrassment, with fondness and sense of learning, with disdain. There are three negative points here. You can cross them outrightly, and you are left with fondness and sense of learning. Next question is, which of the following best captures Wordsworth's philosophy as expressed in the poem? Nature is indifferent to human affairs. This is negative. You can cross it. Nature is a teacher and moral guide. Let's see. Nature is an obstacle. It is not obstacle. Nature is the source of exploitation. No. So we are left with B only. Okay. How does Wordsworth describe the sounds of nature in Tintern Abbey? As harsh and unsettling, let me finish because my granddaughters are crying. As harsh and unsettling, as soothing and harmonious, as loud and distracting, as monotonous and dull. Okay, see the answer. Negative, harsh, and this is negative, and this is negative, this is negative. This is the right answer, B. Next question is, how does Wordsworth's perception of nature differ from his earlier years? Reverence to indifference? No. Boredom? No. Youthful passion, mature reflection? This is the right answer, and this is also negative one. And 57th is, what does Wordsworth describe as being felt in the mind of man? Turmoil of life, the power of nature. Okay, this is the right one. Serenity of landscape, the joy of, this is the right answer. As you. And how does Wordsworth believe his memory of this visit will impact his visit future? It will provide inspiration and comfort. Source of regret, negative, negative, negative. This is the right answer. Okay, my granddaughters are calling me, and I have to finish now. What does Wordsworth hope for the reader or listener to the poem? To seek fame and fortune? No. To forget the past? No. Industrial? Okay. To find solace in nature. Which of the following best describe the structure of Tintern Abbey? A series of disconnected vignettes, a short piece of writing. Okay. Chronological or reflective? And okay, answer is reflective and meditative. Okay, sorry, I have to finish up. Thank you very much for joining. Let me finish it now. Okay.